Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're going over a brand new purple skill tree Zane build. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is an early access build. Thanks to 2K and Gearbox, I got early access to the brand new DLC, Arms Race, and the 4th skill trees, so I'm not going to sit here and act like this is the best purple Zane build that has ever existed, but I will tell you guys that this is the strongest version of Zane that I have played yet. This new purple skill tree gives so much damage to Zane, and this is going to be my first build debuting it, so let's get straight into it. Real quick, before we get into the video, if you guys could please drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos. If this video helps you out at all, I would really appreciate it because those YouTube analytics really mean something, and it really helps me out. With that being said, let's go over the skill tree and the gear. So we've got the brand new purple skill tree featuring the MNTIS shoulder cannon. The MNTIS shoulder cannon gives Zane access to action skill and anointments. You get 3 charges out of this shoulder cannon. I'm actually using an augment that gives me 2 bonus charges. So you do see that it started at 5, but you know, the base is 3. Anyways, though, let's talk about the purple skill tree and the skills I'm choosing to use. First up, we've got Deja Vu. This says whenever Zane kills an enemy with a critical hit, there's a chance for 1 ammo to be added to his magazine. Now, this skill doesn't seem so amazing at first, but personally, I like to use some snipers, I like to use some Jacobs shotguns, and I've done some testing with this skill, and it seems like it counts per pellet. So, for example, when I shoot a Skull Masher, it'll fill up my full magazine from the Skull Masher because it's 5 pellets. And also, my Skull Masher only has 6 in the magazine. But it seems like I'm getting an ammo back per pellet and not necessarily just 1 ammo back. So I actually really do like this skill. Next, we have 2 points into Man of Focus. After activating an action skill, Zane gains accuracy and handling, and this skill can stack. I only put 2 points into here because you only need so much accuracy and handling, but I really do recommend sticking some points into this skill because accuracy and handling is a lot better for DPS than you would realize. Hitting all the pellets of your Hellwalker, all the pellets of your Skull Masher, heck, even all the pellets of your Reflux is pretty important and can get you further than you would realize. Next, we have 5 points into Headman's Hand. This is a kill skill. Zane gains increased critical hit damage. This effect stacks twice. With a Seein dead on, we get to 60% critical hit damage, which is insane. This is so much critical hit damage, you cannot skimp on this skill. Next, we have 5 points into Commitment. This is a kill skill. Zane gains increased gun damage and action skill cooldown rate. Now, this effect can stack pretty much infinitely. I'm not sure if they're going to put a cap onto this skill or if they'll make some sort of re-trigger delay with Seein dead. Currently, I am using Seein dead and abusing this skill. This skill is very, very powerful. Even without the Seein dead class mod, the fact that this stacks up, up to 5 or 10 without Seein dead, and with Seein dead, it's much more than that, which is insane. And yeah, the purple skill tree allows you to not use Seein dead as well, but the combo of Seein dead and Commitment is pretty much just the most insane thing I believe that Zane can do. So that's why this build is featuring it. Definitely 5 out of 5 in this skill. It is so powerful. Next, we have 1 point into Fugitive. Zane can sprint and shoot at the same time. You can take this skill if you want to. I decided to take it because I like to run and shoot. Next, we stuck 5 points into Domino Effect. Whenever Zane scores a critical hit, he gains increased fire rate and reload speed for a short time, and if he gets a crit with his action skill, he doubles this effect. This gives 20% reload speed and 15% fire rate, but this can double if you crit with your shoulder cannon, or if one of your other action skills happens to hit a crit. But the point is, this is a buttload of reload speed and fire rate. It is definitely a good skill. Next, we have 3 points into Eraser. This skill is absolutely awesome. This is basically Boar, but on Zane. We're going to queue up the Grave Ward conference call clip right now to show you guys what this thing can do with a conference call versus a big tanky enemy. Also, definitely mess around with other weapons in this skill. Moxie will be posting a Zane build using the Hustler and the Recursion, and that is the most unique thing I've seen done with this skill. So you guys should definitely check that out and definitely use this skill. Always 3 points into it. It is so powerful. Next, we have our man Flint, the capstone. While aiming down your sights, Zane's weapons deal bonus damage and automatically apply their status effect when he scores a critical hit. This is 25% bonus damage. Now, what's awesome about this is this is considered V2 damage. For those of you joining the game right now, this is essentially a multiplicative damage boost for the most part. When it comes to Zane skill trees, it is, but there are some gear like weapon type on your class mods, like shotgun damage. This is additive with that, but otherwise it is multiplicative with our gun damage. You definitely want this capstone, in my opinion, if you are shooting your weapons. Now for the augments for the Mantis cannon, we've got No Way Out. Whenever Zane damages an enemy with his shoulder cannon, that enemy is pulled in and takes increased damage. Additionally, Zane's Mantis shoulder cannon cooldown time is increased. What's awesome about this augment is it pulls enemies towards you and debuffs them. Now this is very, very powerful with our chaining weapons, pulling enemies that are far away in to chain them off of other enemies nearby is my favorite use of this augment, but otherwise it's just a very powerful augment. It gives debuff damage, which is fully multiplicative with everything else, and it is such a powerful DPS increase. And then I also used Proliferation. Zane's Mantis shoulder cannon gains additional charges and deals increased damage based on the number of charges. Now, I pretty much just took this for the additional charges, just because I like spamming the shoulder cannon. You can pick any other augment. I went with this one. Now into the blue tree. You can see we went 5 into Violent Momentum, 5 into Violent Speed. This gives us a buttload of gun damage, and this helps Violent Momentum. 4 into Cool Hand for a ton of reload speed. This also helps with Domino Effect. Only 1 point into Salvation. If you're playing at Mayhem 10, you only need 1 point. You will fully heal with every single shot. We got 1 point into Death Follows Close. All of Zane's kill skills gain increased effect and duration. This is definitely important for commitment, for Headman's Hand, etc., etc. 4 points into Violent Violence. It's only 4 points. I have 3 from my class mod. After killing an enemy, we gain a buttload of fire rate. This is the strongest fire rate increase in the game. Then we have 4 points into Playing Dirty. Once again, sorry about my class mod, but it's only 4 points into Playing Dirty. Basically, the way this skill works, you don't need max points into this. You can skimp on some points. You can get some points from your class mod or whatever. You only need about 4 to 5 points for most weapons to work very well with this skill. 1 point into Good Misfortune. This gives us infinite action skill uptime on our second action skill. Since we are using the Mantis, this does not affect the Mantis at all, but it will give us uptime on our barrier. And then we got the Seein red capstone. This is going to be awesome with our Mantis shoulder cannon, and that's one reason I picked Proliferation. We get 5 charges. We can stack our kill skills 5 times with, if you're using Proliferation, before even starting any fights. And on top of that, it's going to keep our kill skills constantly proccing because we're constantly using our Mantis shoulder cannon all the time. Seein red plus the Mantis shoulder cannon is like it's a dream for Zane mains. Now moving on quickly to the red tree, we have no points into here. That's because we're focusing on the Mantis and the barrier. If I was using the clone, I would build a lot differently, but we're going to go ahead and skip over the red tree for now. And then finally, in the green tree, we're using the barrier as our second action skill, and we're using the all-rounder. It doesn't matter which skill on the left you pick. You can take whatever you want, but we've got 5 points into Ready for Action and 5 points into Brain Freeze. Now let's talk about why I didn't take Confident Competence. That's because we're getting tons of accuracy and handling from the purple tree skill, Mana Focus, so we don't really need that bonus accuracy, and we have buttloads of gun damage from Commitment and Violent Momentum. You do not need this gun damage in your build. For those of you joining the game, it's basically something called diminishing returns. Once you have so much of something, in this case gun damage or accuracy, adding a little bit more does not do nearly as much as you think. This basically adds nothing to the build, in my opinion, and yeah, you're going to want Ready for Action and Brain Freeze. Now, quickly going over the weapons. In this build, you can use whatever weapons you want. I'm just going to tell you guys some of the most powerful weapons. For bossing, I do think one of the most powerful weapons right now is the Light Show. This thing does insane damage, and there are some insane boss melts in the footage. For mobbing, you're going to want to use the Redistributor or the Reflux. Both of these guns are so freaking powerful. I prefer to use the Redistributor at Malawan Takedown, and I prefer to use the Reflex at Guardian Takedown. I'm not sure which one of these guns is actually stronger in Zane's hands right now. Both of these do ridiculous amounts of damage for mobbing. You will literally clear entire playing fields with either one of these guns that you choose. And yeah, otherwise, I like to use just good old meta weapons like the Beacon. The Moonfire works on this build. The King's Call is great. You can use a Monarch if you want to. I picked up a Chaos off the ground because I like that gun. The Conference Call is amazing with the Eraser skill. This is going to be very good for bossing. I definitely recommend picking up a Conference Call. It's also actually very good for mobbing too. We have the Hellwalker. We have the Skull Masher. We have the Root. Sandhawks, we got a Storm on us, we got a Monocle. I really recommend checking out the Hellwalker and the Skull Masher if you are a Jacobs player. I really like using Jacobs. A lot of the times I have a Skull Masher and a Hellwalker equipped. This is pretty much my preferred loadout. These three weapons, the Light Show is insane for bossing, the Skull Masher and the Hellwalker are awesome tools for mobbing. And then you can use the Redistributor or the Reflex, whichever one you prefer. And you're basically looking for next to magazine anointments on all your weapons. We are using action skill end anointments now. Next to magazines, even on the Hellwalker, which reloads instantly, you're just spamming your Mantis Cannon so much that it doesn't even matter. And same when it comes to the Reflex, you're going to want action skill end. Now for your splash weapons, you're going to want 200% bonus splash damage. Like the Root, for example, 200% bonus splash damage is one of the most powerful anointments on Zane, and having access to action skill end is insanely powerful. And when it comes to the class mod, like I said, I am using Seein Dead, but you can use whatever class mod you want. The thing is, Seein Dead and Commitment is an insanely powerful combo, as you can see from the gameplay footage, but it's not necessary when we're using the purple skill tree. It's just that it's the most broken thing to do right now, so I decided to do it. When it comes to the shield, you can use whatever you want. I've been using an action skill start 0.M because this gives us a 50% multiplicative damage increase if you are standing in the circle. It's insanely powerful, but otherwise you can use whatever you want. I have a plus ultra, I have a one-shotter shield. Old God is going to be very powerful for you. One other shield I should mention that's not in my inventory is the Ass Frozen Heart. Using these action skill start anointments with the different shields that they're good with, like even the Stinger shield would be insane in this build, but you can use the action skill start anointments with the shoulder cannon and you're going to be spamming shield effects like crazy. When it comes to the grenade, we are not using any grenade skills in this build. We're not using drone delivery. We're not using fractal frags. We're not using duct tape mod. The grenade does not matter at all. Just get those action skill end bonus elements. I was at the Malawan takedown, so I'm wearing corrosive because I was just fighting Wotan. But for mobbing, I like to wear radiation. Action skill end is the name of the game with the Mantis shoulder cannon. And when it comes to the artifact, you want to wear the Icebreaker for mobbing or the Snowdrift for bossing. Now, one thing I do want to say real quick is the artifact kind of does not matter anymore. We get so much damage out of Commitment, so much damage from our man Flint. We have lots of critical hit damage skills. And then just action skill and anointments. If you want to wear the Snowdrift the entire time, go for it. One thing I do have to say, though, is just do not wear the Pearl of Knowledge. The Pearl of Knowledge is a ton of gun damage, and it goes back to what I said earlier about diminishing returns. That's pretty much just the only bad option, but otherwise you can do whatever you want. Just look for elemental bonuses, look for AoE, look for mag size. Actually, I really recommend mag size because we have so much freaking fire rate. So mag size on your artifact is definitely going to be great. But otherwise, just look for those, like this one has pistol damage and AoE on it. That's an amazing roll, and that's what you're going to be looking for to use. With that all said and done and out of the way, that is going to be it for this build guide today. This was my first build using the purple skill tree, and this is the most powerful Zane build I have ever played. Now, I'm not saying it's the most powerful Zane build out there because the purple tree is brand new, so I do recommend you guys test things out and try things out. Go ahead and mess around with some stuff. You're going to have a lot of fun playing with this new skill tree, and this is my first build using it. And it's definitely the most powerful Zane build I've ever used so far, but I'm sure I'll come up with something else. So besides that, if you guys like this video, don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos. Come check me out. I will be streaming my testing over on twitch.tv/ThiccFilA_. But otherwise, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.